today I have a guest. Ikusikia to living your purpose is becoming a cliche. Yes, you are frustrated all the time. You know, there are seasons where, okay, unaweza kuwa frustrated at a certain season. But if it's prolonged, I mean, we're talking about 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you're just frustrated. You don't feel like getting up and doing anything. There's nothing that is motivating you to get up out of bed and get excited. Ukiulizwa, why are you leaving? You're just like, oh, ama you use your children as excuse. Raise it on your ama your spouse, you know. You can't use people as excuse. There has to be something bigger than people, bigger than your job that you're living for.
So today, one of you did that. And I am so happy. Yani, I am so happy because whatever she reached out for is something that sits in line with whatever we do at Cele's Reflection. Saseni mkofiti manze nimewa miss. Welcome back to Cele's Reflection. It's yet another Wednesday, 10 in the morning, guys. This year, please pray for me so that I can continue being consistent. And I think one thing that is fueling me is the comments that I'm getting from the episodes I've done this year. Yo, thank you so much, guys. Manze tuna engage hapo kwa comments. You guys are very engaging, so you fuel me. So hata nikisikia wenu inafika na sina ka episode siwezi tamani. Kuna venye nasikianga poa nikisikia wenu nimeekelea episode. So thanks to you. Thank you for last week's feedback. Nimeona watu wamesema vitu wamelearn, watu wamecomment vitu wamelearn, watu wameshare, watu wamewatch. Thank you so much, guys. And because of that, today I have a guest. I know I keep on telling you guys, if you have something you would love to come and maybe enlighten us about, maybe share knowledge about, kutufunza tu, kutuambia, be it matters life, be it kama ile ya finances, kama ni motherhood, whatever you feel like inaweza kuwa of good, what do we call it? Of a good cause to us, please reach out to this email, thecelestinedinda@gmail.com. So feel free, reach out. Mimi nazikaguanga one by one, then I'll get back to you then. Here we can have a seat and then discuss about whatever it will be. So today, one of you did that. And I am so happy. Yani, I am so happy because whatever she reached out for is something that sits in line with whatever we do at Cele's Reflection. So here I am with the Coach Wanjugu.
Yes.
Ni Wanjugu ama ni Wanjugu ama ni...
Ni venye tu umesema the first time Wanjugu.
Oh, yeah, Wanjugu.
Ideally, but if you're English, you're like Wanjugu.
No, me I'm going to say like Coach Wanjugu.
That's excellent.
Karibu sana to Cele's Reflection.
Asante sana.
And thank you so much for reaching out.
Thank you for having me.
Aki.
I'm so excited. I'm a fan, by the way.
Really? No, ujaniambia pale off camera. Hiyo ungeniambia kando. Welcome. Karibu sana. I saw your mail and I was like, this is something we could discuss about. So maybe just to start, maybe unaweza tupatia intro, a brief intro about what you do so that they can understand what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
My name is Wanjugu Gishuru. I am a purpose coach. Yeah, I'm a purpose coach. I love helping people utilize their potential and be able to live in a place of impact. Yeah. And, you know, I really believe you can't live a full life if you don't live it in purpose. Yeah. So what I do is I coach, I teach, I train, I write, all those things to just help build people. And I believe if I build people, then they will be able to build the community. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So what I do is I have an organization called Wired Global. So we help, we teach, we train, we equip leaders. And I also have a coaching practice called Wired to Thrive. Yeah. And I'm also a shepherd in a church. So I do many things, but all of them are geared to equipping you to be able to pursue your purpose. Yeah.
What is purpose?
Purpose. Hey, your question.
And you're a purpose. So
coach, yes.
We understand it, but what is
it? It is actually daunting. I think people are even tired of hearing purpose. There's someone who was telling me, ikusikia ati living your purpose is becoming a cliche. Mm-hmm. But purpose, in short, it answers the question why you're here. Yeah. Why you're here. And you can't answer why you're here if you don't know who you are. So most people struggle with purpose because they look at it from the place of doing. Like, what am I supposed to do? What was I created to do? It's okay, but you will get stuck if you focus on what you're doing. I always like to ask people, why are you doing what you're doing? Yeah. What is the reason? What is that cause, that reason, that intention, that belief behind the what? So most people follow, they try to pursue something they will enjoy to do. For example, what you're doing right now, I'm sure you enjoy it, yeah? And so people are looking for that passionate job. But it's not enough because you will get stuck at some point. And because we are always evolving, there's a place you'll be like, I'm not as passionate as before. There's something missing. It's because you've not paused to ask why. Why is it that I enjoy this thing? You know, what is the reason behind it? So most of us don't pause to ask that question, but that is purpose. Purpose is the why. Yeah.
Ever give me an example for that?
Let me give an example. There's a lady I helped. So what she was doing is she's very creative. She was doing a lot of things. She was teaching kids. She was writing. She's written a lot of books. But all of a sudden she was like, I really like teaching kids, but all of a sudden ni kama nimeanza kuchoka, ama I'm not passionate about it. And so she was so scared because she thought purpose may change. Because for her, the purpose was teaching kids. So I started asking her, what is it about teaching kids that was so, fulfilling? What is it about writing that's so fulfilling? So we're able to figure out some statements. She began to say her desire is to share truth with people. She loved to teach the kids so that they can understand who they are. So we actually found out that she loves helping people discover who they are. That is the reason. And so what she was doing was good, but it's as if she was now in a space where she needs to increase her capacity and do something else that is going to help her express that why in a better way. And because we are multi-talented people, sometimes in one season, unafanya one thing, another season you're doing another thing. But if you know your why, which doesn't change, by the way, that's a thing. Your purpose doesn't change.
Oh.
Yeah, it is the same.
But your career has now changed.
Yes. What you do in every season is what changes. So when you focus on what you are doing and you think that's purpose, ndio unakuwa confused. Yeah. And
actually, that has answered my next thing. Does purpose change over time?
Yeah.
So it does not.
It doesn't change.
So what you're doing is what changes.
Exactly. What you're doing is what changes. Another way of looking at purpose is that belief you have, that cause that is bigger than you. Yani, you can wake up every day to pursue it.
Oh.
Something that is so big, even circumstances, challenges, ikikuja, it doesn't quench it. Sometimes I like to tell people that purpose is that fire inside, that spark that it just keeps, it's just there. It's not quenched. Now you want to figure out what is that fire. What is that spark?
I'm trying to think what is that spark in me.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to think.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to, like in matters Cele's reflection. I think if I may say, there's the fire that keeps me doing Cele's reflection is the impact that the show has upon people's lives.
Now you want to define what is that impact exactly?
There's a feeling I get, I think a feeling of reward, a feeling of fulfillment that I get when someone tells me, it's because of that show, I was able to reach out and I got help. I discovered that I have this and this.
Yes.
So is it the feeling of fulfillment?
That fulfillment tells you you're in your purpose. So you want to clarify the why. There are many people by the who are living their purpose without really clarifying the why. They are lucky because they're just like, me, whatever I'm doing is fulfilling, it's creating impact, but maybe they've not supposed to write it out or just state it out. So for you want to be even more specific. So yes, it's impact, yes, you're helping people, but how are you helping them? What is that help that is so specific? You're like, that's a help I'm after. Me, I want to, because you told me that you want people to gain knowledge so that they can be helped, maybe out of their situations, maybe where they are stuck, So you've found the vehicle. For you, you've seen the vehicle, what you need to do to help figure out the why. So the why is to help people get out. There's a problem, you're probably solving that you've not really been able to identify. If problem ya watu ni gani, it could be that lack of information. People are stuck. They don't know what to do with their lives. You want maybe people to be fulfilled, to be able to live abundant, thriving lives. You want people to get there. But notice there's a problem. They are not there because there's a gap of knowledge.
Yeah.
So that's how I can come in and help.
That's
I can
true.
provide the knowledge or a platform. Because you see, even what we do it through the skills we have and the gifts we have. There's someone else who can have a similar kind of vision or why, but they have a different skill set or a different gifting. So for you have a platform, you have a way with people, you connect with an audience, a larger audience. So you're like, why don't I use those skills and gifts to be able to meet this need? Yeah.
Okay. So are there like signs? Are there like common signs that one can tell you're not aligned with your purpose?
Yes. You are frustrated all the time. There are seasons where, unaweza kuwa frustrated a certain season. But if it's prolonged, we're talking about 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you're just frustrated. You don't feel like getting up and doing anything. There's nothing that is motivating you to get up out of bed and, get excited.
So
especially,
depressed.
Yeah. Many people are depressed because of that. By the way, do you know, studies show that people are depressed because they've not gotten a chance to express who they really are. And you see, purpose gives you a place of expressing who you really are. So watu wanna live, you're living someone else's life. You're living what your parents said you should be living. You're living what you think people want you to do. So you're pursuing a script that is not your life, that you really want to do. So people are actually depressed. So when you find that you're always frustrated, you don't have that spark and motivation to always get up and pursue something. You don't have a cause or a belief that's bigger than you. Ukiulizwa, why are you living? You're just like, ama you use your children as an excuse. Ama your spouse, you can't use people as an excuse. There has to be something bigger than people, bigger than your job that you're living for. So you might notice that, and then you lack fulfillment. You don't have, whatever you're engaging in, you don't feel like you're fulfilled. And then you don't feel like you're making a difference. Those are some of the signs.
That question is hard. Why are you living, guys? Why are you living? Yeah. So now this person is frustrated. Are there ways you can help them align with their purpose? Because now I can already rate myself. I can already feel where am I in this discussion.
Yeah.
So how can you help me now move towards aligning my purpose, myself with my purpose?
Yeah. I think I'll begin by asking questions. The first one is, I don't believe that if you've been living for, at least to say, if you're a teenager, you've lived quite some years to be able to figure out there's something that you usually do, and then it ignites a spark in you. When you do it, you just feel like, hey, that it really felt really good.
And is this something, sorry to cut you.
Yeah,
is this something that we do be something like passion?
Yeah, passion is one of the ways that you can be able to, it's like a sign or a pointer to the purpose. Passion is not the purpose. Passion is a pointer. Passion is what, when you engage in, you enjoy and you're fulfilled, but at the same time, you're good at it. That's a passion. People think a passion is just that you enjoy it. No, if you just do something and you enjoy it, that's a hobby rather. But if you find something that you enjoy and you're also good at, and when I say good at, I mean like you're above a 5 out of 10.
Oh, you excel.
Yes, that's a passion. Now, very few people even find out their passion. So, but if you find your passion, that's good, because now you can be able to tell what is driving this passion. There's a why, there's a belief that's driving this passion. Because passion is like a fuel, Because you might have a why and a cause, but how will you express that cause? Now passion comes and then kind of kicks it in, drives it, yeah? So how can I give an example? Let me give my own example. When I grew up, when I was a kid, and by the way, that's how I can even be able to ask you. I always ask people when they were young, what is it that they wanted to do? And why? So it's not just why, I wanted to be a doctor. For me, I'm like, why did you want to be a doctor?
I wanted to be a teacher.
You wanted to be a teacher.
So that I can beat kids there with me. venye nilikuwa na chapo pia mimi ni wachape and a policeman you know
and a
that you
police,
feel like you have authority.
Okay.
So yeah,
because probably you wanted to make a difference. Ulikuwa nasikia huyo police akona venye akona power ya he can change something.
alafu pia walimu back in the day ndo walikuwa poa na polisi you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, when people were saying they want to be a lawyer, actually ningeulizwa, it's just because it didn't have a profession. Do you know me, I just wanted to change the world. Imagine kama mtoto, I know.
Change it.
I just wanted to change the world. I wanted to do something big, like just some big, then I thought maybe the best way is to innovate something huge, like a big idea. And because I was good in science, I thought, let me try science. You know, then my mom is like, daktari. Then I thought, hey, being a doctor, I'll be saving lives. That is a big. So I'm pursuing this medicine thing. Ninafika University, I realized I don't like it. And then I shift to biochemistry. I like biochemistry, but I am so bored because I'm looking at my classmates. They really love it. Being in the lab, I want to be out there talking to people. So that's when I realized, okay, I want to innovate something. I want to change people, but it's not in the lab. So my journey was very interesting. By the time I was finding out, actually, I want to change people's lives, not just to change the world, but to change people's lives. So that meant I had to be around people.
Yeah.
I had to connect with people. And then I realized I like to work with the individual. Like I wanted to help that person be the best version of themselves. So when I was growing up, me sikuwa najua about coaches. I think this coaching came up recently. So it's when I was in the workplace that I began to realize, so I can create my own path, career path, that enables me to fulfill this why. Because I finally found the why. Yeah. So it takes a lot of self-reflection. You know, people don't like self-reflection. You're just busy on autopilot. You have to take time to sit with yourself and ask questions, serious questions. Why am I doing what I'm doing? What is the drive? Do I have this cause and belief that I'm pursuing that's bigger than me? Go back to when you are a child. You know, as you're saying, you wanted to be a teacher. Why did you want to be a teacher? Because children they know, by the way. It's just that when they grow up, they're being told, you can't do that, you can't be this. So all those can'ts and limitations is what keeps us low. But inside you, in your spirit, man, there's a drive you already know. This is why I'm here. So I like children because they'll tell you. And they may not have the right words, but when you help them define it, they can be able to know, and then you can create a path for them to be living in their purpose.
I love that you've said, do this, do that, what our parents used to tell us, do this, do this. So sometimes it might not align with your purpose. But at times, it might.
It does.
It does.
It does, especially if the parent is very, like for me, I really love what my mom really gave me a pathway of getting here. You know, because she used to be like, she was like, what do you want to do? Then because she creates a platform of what she knows. I'm sure if that time she knew there was something like coaching or angeni peleka your journey.
That's true.
So it's just about, as a parent, you have to be very intuitive. What is your child saying? Because they know. And then also, of course, there's a path of self-discovery. So they have to try a few things here and there. And there's nothing wrong with that. So that you're able to know, even if you know your why, you still have to know what it is that you'll be doing to express your why. And you see the what comes with the packaging, the what comes with your skills, your giftings, your talents, and that has to come with self-discovery. Always to draw at I'm good at this. You have to actually do something to know, I don't like that, I like this. And so I usually tell people, there are people who you've reached a certain age and you think it's too late. No, your wealth of experience is excellent. You just need to kind of do an analysis and say, by the way, looking at my life, this is what I've identified. I don't like that. I like this. I'm good at this. This is what I'm passionate about. And then you kind of create, you know, the way you can do an analysis of an organization, you do it on yourself.
You analyze yourself.
Yeah.
Now, you've mentioned being frustrated with what you do, then there's purpose.
Yeah.
Is there a way they're marrying with professionalism goals, like with my professional goals?
Yeah.
Is there a way purpose marries with each?
Yes. So what should happen is you should align your professional goals with your purpose.
Sahi, utaweza kwa hii serikali?
Inaweza. There is nothing impossible.
You do medicine, unakosa kazi medicine, unaingia kazi ingine.
Yeah, it's possible. I've seen it every day. You see, and that's why purpose is that big. By the way, purpose is that fire that ignites you to do to make bold changes. Yeah, because you ask yourself, you only have one life. Kwanza, you have one life.
Yeah.
You don't have a do-over of another life. So you have to just choose. Are you going to live a life of purpose or a miserable, mediocre life? Comfortable life. You choose. If you decide it's a life of purpose, so do you make the changes. So most of us, we are trying to fix purpose in our life. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, it's the other way around. You first of all identify purpose and then you align your life around it. Yeah. And that takes change and people don't want change. So you want a life of purpose, but you just want to be comfortable. It doesn't work like that. So, and it's possible. I've seen it. There's a lady who, she used to be in the aviation industry. And then she went and became a stay-at-home mom. After she clarified her purpose, do you know now she's a counseling psychologist? That's a completely different career. And it's possible. She had to go to school. Can you imagine? By the time we were sitting with her, ilikuwa inakani kama it is going to take forever. She's now finished. She's now even doing her, what are they called? Those projects. She's already counseling people. It's happened.
So I think most of us are living that mediocre, comfortable life.
Yes.
Because every time we hear of such cases like that lady, we are like, hey, kwani alikuwa amechizi?
Bas.
Because it's a bold move.
It's a bold
Only
move.
people do that.
Yeah.
Like quitting this high position, going to do some
some things.
Some funny...
And it's not easy because even people, of course, even for her, she wasn't at it so confident. It had to be one step after another. And sometimes we settle for, as you're saying, we are living our lives because of what people are saying, not because of what you want. So you're afraid of what people will say. You're afraid of your family. They'll think that you're crazy. You know, even for me, I had to be like, hey, you know, my mom spent money. Mi hata nilienda sujui nikafanya masters ya project management. That was a lot of money. And here they're thinking you'll be this doctor. You know, all of us, we are thinking like that. And here you are, you're starting a business. Of course, you're starting from scratch. Before you start making money, and I've seen that happen. People get scared to step out because that's the first thing. Starting is the hardest. And people don't want to start over. So they'd rather stay with a comfortable life. At least you have a good job. You're getting paid. You have your family. Uko sawa. But I ask you, are you going to, in the next 10 years, you know, I ask people, on your deathbed, hautako ukisema, I wish I had a bigger promotion. I wish I had more money. Those are not the questions you will be. You will be saying, I wish I had more impact. I wish I made a difference. Yeah. And so you want to view your life. What kind of legacy do I want to have? And then begin to ask yourself now, what changes do I need to make? And be bold about it and just do it. I like people who try. Afadhali useme ulijaribu than saying, that you're not going to do it because you're scared. Yeah.
So now that there's that transition, now I have discovered my purpose and I want to switch because nimeona hapa hivi every day naendanga tu juu ya do. Most of us do it because of money. I'm able to sustain. I'm able to keep up with my family. I'm able to provide, but I make impact. You don't feel like every day you're thinking of Monday next week. So now that you've mentioned it, in case we choose to transition, of course, there are impacts, there are challenges.
Yeah.
Some of them might be.
Yeah.
Because it won't be easy before I choose that bold move.
Yeah. I usually say, create a transition plan. Don't just start quitting tomorrow. You know, you usually think that purpose is like that. Oh, I've left work. Then that you're so bold. You know, you're telling people, no, I'm starting from. No, have a transition plan. Doesn't mean now you have to leave work. And sometimes it may take a year. So you've created a plan that after this year, I'm transitioning to this career or I'm starting a business. You can actually start transitioning slowly even as you are, you know, where you are. The first thing I tell people is don't start changing your job immediately. Just because you've clarified your purpose doesn't mean your job by the way is bad. It's actually perspective, by the way. So because your job is supposed to be a vehicle of you expressing purpose. So if you find out, for example, that your purpose or, you know, your mission, this cause or belief is to inspire people to grow and to be the best version of themselves. And what you are doing is when you're accountant and you rarely even interact with the people in the office, you are just there with numbers and you're like, this thing. But you're in an office and there are people.
So start.
Yeah, start. You can begin to, and I can always tell someone's purpose because it is so much in them. They do it maybe in small bits, but in akwangapo. So you'll find that maybe they try to encourage people here and there in their team. There's a way they interact. There's a way they are the encouragers of the organization. Ukisikia ule hata kama ni accountant, he just likes to encourage and inspire people. That one. So when it clicks that this is my purpose, they give themselves room to express it where they are. Hata kwa hiyo accountancy, they start doing it. And then they can begin. And I've ever seen this happen with a lady where she shifted departments. She was in operations. She went to HR because she had the conversation with the boss. And the boss agreed. Because it was so evident. It was live. People will go to her. And everyone who will be under her would always grow up, the ladder. They realize it's true. She's been doing it. It's just that she's been doing it in a very, confined way. But if we put her in this department, she's able to do it in a better way. So we have this attitude of all or nothing. And that's why we fear. No. You don't have to uproot your life and everything is so. So when you create a transition plan, you're able to know, okay, maybe this is my job enyewe hapa papa saiezani kabisa. So you are like, okay, so which job can work for me? And then do I need to go to school for that? Then you ask that question. Or maybe you decide, for me, I want to be a business person. For me, I can't do 9 to 5. Mimi yosis. That is just not, I'm not wired like that.
Sasa kila mtu anasema hivyo.
Ni sawa, by the way.
Does it mean all of us are like that? Because everybody's like, I can't do 8 to 5.
There are people who like 8 to 5. Maybe those ones are saying because of pressure, because everyone is saying they don't like 8 to 5. There are people who, they don't mind that structure and they are fine. But there are those who are just called to be creators, innovators, pioneers. So, okay, decide, I'm not seeing myself being employed for this long. You create a transition plan of starting a business. And you can start it slowly as you're living and as you're saving. And then at the same time in the transition plan, what are you doing? You're telling the necessary people, including your family. If you're married, that one has to be a conversation for the family, yeah. Or necessary people, or get a coach, someone who's going to help you. When you have a transition plan, it's easier. I've seen, and that is one mistake I did. Well, I kind of had a transition plan kidogo, but I think I would have made a better decision when I was coming out of my workplace to now what I'm doing. It would have been smoother. It would have been smoother.
It was pack and go.
Me, I was like,
I'm
pursuing my purpose, But I mean, it took some time. There was some wisdom, but it will have been better. So have a transition plan. Don't just up and go. Yeah, have a plan.
During this transition, during this time that I'm saying, I have 1 year. I'm working towards 1 year, 2 years, then I quit.
Yeah.
Some of the things that can keep you motivated. Because it must be very tough thinking, I'm going to... most of us quit going to start some side hustle na huku kando naambiwa kaa tu huko biashara si ya mama yako so some of the things to keep us, because I have found my purpose, I have chosen to quit gradually, slowly, but then sometimes kuna hiyo back nika unaanguka kiasi.
I will say when you find your purpose, clarify it and then write a vision. There is something powerful about writing a vision down and then you keep seeing it, because you see, vision leaks. Unaanza kusahau why you started, why you're on this transition plan, because things are hard. Then you unaanza kukumbuka, as you're saying, hey, I just get out and then I will not be banking on a salary at the end of the month. You change your mind. And there are many people who've done that. They've started and then they've gone back. So you want to have a very clear vision that you can keep looking at, speaking to yourself every day, that motivates you. To find a community or even one person who encourages you. Someone who's probably doing it, Someone who's been there, maybe a model or a mentor who's doing what you're planning to do. That is what I did, because even that time I was transitioning, I got a coach. And when I saw her life and I'm like, what? I mean, she will describe what she's doing. And I'm like, this is possible in this day and age. And I remember the first time I did my own training outside the organization I was working in. And what I was paid was like, a quarter of my salary in one sitting. I was like, this is possible. So
there's no motivation, but yeah.
So when you do small things towards your transition, either you start that business or you do one deal, or it gives you the drive for, oh, this can be done. And then being around someone who's doing it, being there, being motivated by them and being encouraged by them. So having the right community is important, because if you're with people who are discouraging you about pursuing your purpose, you will not do it. But if you're around people who are telling you, you can do it, your value is greater, there are people out there with, who actually need you and your value. You're like, yeah, I'm doing this for people. Because you see, purpose is about other people. It's not about you. It's something that you're pursuing that's bigger than you. So that should motivate you for, if I don't step out and do this, then other people are not going to be transformed, or impacted. Yeah.
And now I think I have an example. I've seen people quit to join our side of hustle, content creation.
Yeah.
So there's a doctor who has been a doctor, like,
wow.
Maybe I don't know whether he was enjoying or not. All factors held constant. But now this doctor thrives well on creating content online. Of course, from his line of duty. So you find us sharing, daktari alituambia, we even call you doc, but ni kwa socials.
Nice.
So unapata tu daktari amefika mahali akama, you know what, I'm a doctor, I have all this knowledge, but I am quitting.
Yeah.
I'm now focusing on content creation in matters, health, nini, na thrive.
Excellent.
So that's still a doctor.
That is still a doctor. It's just that he's influencing in a different way. He's, he's chosen to the best way, and he's probably, this realization, it came when he was there in the hospital.
Exactly.
Because he realized, wait, these people who are coming to me, there's a way I can impact in a greater way than just me treating people. And he realized also there's a side of him, there's a passion he wasn't utilizing. That's now, the passion is the content creation. Because what you want to do, your purpose, what you do every day has to align with your passion. Otherwise, what is the point? Yeah. So, so if his passion is, he's good at, as you said, he's good at it because he has following this impact. He's good at content creation. He loves it. That's a passion. Maybe now him treating people in the hospital was like, this is just a job. This I'm good at, but I don't enjoy it. And you see, even people like my mother, she told me she ended up being an accountant because she's good at it. But she actually told me she doesn't enjoy it.
Oh, wow.
So most of us are in jobs because we are good at.
Yeah,
but we don't enjoy it. So we feel trapped because people tell you, but you're good at it. You're good at it. Why are you changing? But uko ndani unajua, but I don't love it. So you feel trapped. So you want to find a passion that you're good at and then you love it. Now, when you do that and it is that passion is helping you fulfill your purpose, man, you're now going to live in what we call the sweet spot. Utakuwa ukifeel tu, my life is full. I am, not that you won't have challenges, but even the challenges, you will override the challenges because of, clarifying that. Yeah.
Wow. I love that. But most of us are not enjoying their jobs. They're enjoying the money.
Yes.
Ama the company. But Aki, I feel like
uko ndani they wanaifeel. Uko ndani wanajua. And you see, when you're in that place of you're not living in your purpose, you know what you do? You use the things you have to fill the void, which never works.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So you can even tell people with the money, with everything, you can tell wanna overdo. There's something they'll overdo. Either overspend,
to compensate.
Either overindulge, to compensate that feeling, the void they are feeling inside, which really never goes away. So even the money they're making is not useful to them. Because someone in purpose, they use money for purpose. Mm-hmm. Hey. Yeah. They just don't just have money just like that and then they just overspend on anything. And yeah, you can tell someone who's making a lot of money and is in their purpose uses that money to elevate their purpose. Yeah. Mm.
Guys, are you doing something that is in line with your purpose? Because most of us, ntasemea watu.
Yeah.
Aki, we are not. It's because I have to. Sina option. Naacha niende.
Yeah.
Because like that thing for quitting, we have people who quit to start businesses here and there.
Yeah.
Kuna hiyo, I'm planning to quit by this month. Inafika unasongesha tena mbele because you're scared to quit unaona acha tu
unaendelea ukipostpone una postpone then 5 years later unashinda ukisema and then you know those people become bitter. You know why? Because you'll notice someone who did what you wanted to do and they are thriving. Then you get angry. You're like, I wish hata mimi. And how many people hata mimi nilikuwa na hiyo idea but you didn't do it, you didn't pursue it, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's such a hard life to live with regrets. I think it's harder to live a life of regrets than a life of braveness. I would love to try and fail than be safe and then just to be living with regrets. You're ni mbaya. Regrets are bad, you know. And it's, you know, time has gone. Of course, there's always restoration, but you don't want to live a life where you're wishing, I wish. And sometimes I've seen people, which is even harder, I've seen people who step out. Like there's a gentleman who was telling me how he stepped out to pursue a business. And it didn't work out. Yeah. And unfortunately, it ended up costing him his family. So you can imagine. So for someone like that, already akona wounds. Like, I tried to pursue purpose and then this happened. And so with someone like that, you want to always look at the journey and say, you know, failure is a part of the process. And he was able to say, I see where I lost it. And, you know, I was not ready. Now, that's the other thing about purpose, by the way, I should say. You know, purpose increases or thrives based on the person you're becoming. Yeah. So he said that he was not ready for that business. He was proud. He was impatient. So he didn't ask for help. So what happened is, yes, you're trying to pursue this cause, but you're not made for it. You know, you're not ready to steward it at that level. So the process was able to teach him so many things. Now he's still a business person, but he's now thriving. But he had to take all that to be able for him to get there. It doesn't have to cost us that much if you seek for help, if you engage in the process, and then let the process make you, mold you. Don't just disengage. So that's why I tell people, even if you're somewhere frustrated, you've not lived a bad life. There are lessons that you have received that you can carry to the next stage. If you just take time to self-reflect, take time to face yourself, take time, you know, to say, okay, this is the person I've become. Who do I need to become to live the life that I want? Yeah. And this touches on the goals you put, personal goals. Because what I personal goals, they are putting things they're supposed to be doing because someone else is doing it. Oh, I'll wake up at 4 a.m. Because I had and millionaires say they wake up at 4 a.m. If I ask you why, you don't even know why they wake up at 4 a.m. But if you know that it's because they are training themselves to be a certain person, then you can create goals towards that. And it answers the question about what do you do in the meantime as you're transitioning. It's that, changing your attitude and mindset. That's the biggest thing. Because if you're now, you are being paid, you're under someone and you want to be an employer, that is a completely different mindset. You can't be having an employee mindset and you want to start a business.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, how about start working on your mindset, start thinking differently, start looking at your relationships, work on yourself as you transition to the next phase. Yeah.
And you said this can happen from a teenager. Like you can work on yourself. All there are 65.
Yes.
Unaweza kuwa you're working on yourself.
Yeah. It never stops.
It never ends.
It never ends. You know, growth comes with change. If the next, you want to go to another level, you realize, kumbe, you have to change something in you. Yeah. So it never changes. And, you know, if there are teenagers watching, I think you're in the perfect age. This is the time, you know, before you start doing a course that you didn't want to do, this is the time you can ask yourself those questions and then be brave enough to create a path and a career that's going to help you be able to express your purpose best.
Yeah, but I feel, I love it. I love that you're giving caution. I love that you're giving both sides.
Yeah.
But pia wengine wasipeleke, unajua kuna ujinga. for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Like, now I want to quit because I found my purpose. And for sure, you know whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Ni like, hata ukiambia beshte yako, anatu unafanya ujinga. Because you might tend to hide under purpose ati I'm going to quit work, ati I'm now following my purpose. No, tusifanye hiyo.
No, that would be such a bad thing to use purpose for your
But I love that you've given measures, you've given pros and cons. Because if you're quitting to start a business, haitaanza na profit hapa. So we'll for sure know if it was a purpose ama it was, because now you'll face those new challenges which you must conquer.
You have to conquer.
We will see.
Yeah, we will see. And then, as I said, it's important to say, just because you have this purpose, it will not just work automatically.
Exactly. There's
you
work.
You have to grow your capacity to pursue the purpose. So I see people who are like, I want to that success. But you want to be the way you are. You're like, you have to change to be that success. So let's say, you have, I have a dream, and I've seen many dreamers. So you have this big dream, but then you don't want to do anything to work on yourself to get the dream. So there's a lot of work. Purpose is a lot of work. People think purpose is just this automatic magic. It's actually the greater work, because people out of purpose don't have to do a lot of things. Like, for example, as you're saying, if there's a job you're comfortable at and maybe you're doing bare minimum, if you do the bare minimum and you're still paid, why would you work on yourself? So you're comfortable. But purpose, you have to work on yourself. Unajua ni wewe ndio unai-express. So that one takes responsibility, greater, demand, and very few people try to walk that journey. Yeah.
And also people don't want to feel uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Kama nilikuwa nimetulia. Kwa nini
Sasa
na follow purpose na nilikuwa tu sawa all this time?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Wanjugu. Maybe just one
You're
final
welcome.
tip.
Yeah.
When we are ending the conversation.
Yeah.
To someone who is now akona vision board. Ame realize purpose yake.
Yeah.
Akona motivation. Like akona all these things around, but there's just something that is maybe something is lacking. Maybe word of encouragement, because it's not easy.
No,
it's not easy. Yeah, so
it's
maybe
not easy.
A tip or an encouragement,
but it's worth it.
Yeah,
a tip, I will say, start small, start now, start where you are. I think people get this, what is the word? You get anxious because you just think you have to start somewhere. Maybe someone is watching and they admire you, and then they're like, Mimi sina studio coming. Mimi sina, you then you put yourself, you have to have this so that you can start. Don't have that. I mean, everyone great started somewhere, They started somewhere. And so you want to begin to ask yourself, where am I at? Where am I? What do I have? Start there. Start small. Start now, start where you are. Start with what you have. Hiyo tu kitu moja, and then start building slowly. Because I think the reason why people get stuck is because they have, this big dream, but then they think they have to start with a big start.
That's true.
So you have the big dream, have the big vision, but start small and enjoy the process of beginning. Don't look at people will laugh at you. I like to follow content creators, and there are some I usually just see their journey. From the first one, walifanya, they didn't even have lighting, but walifanya, and the creativity was there. And then they just started growing with excellence. I like that. I think that should be celebrated, because most people that we see out there, maybe they do have the resources, and it's fine. Maybe you're at a place where you do have the resources, great. But if you don't have all the resources, start where you are, start small, start now, and then keep building. And remember, be around a community. Even if it's listening to a podcast, watching this show, be around people who are encouraging you, because what you hear is what you're going to believe, and it's what is going to drive you. So that's my encouragement.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching. Wow, that tip, that encouragement has spoken to even me personally.
Awesome.
Yeah, but thank you so much, Wanjugu. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your sharing your knowledge with us. We truly appreciate.
You're most
Nitakuona
welcome.
kando hapo kwa vision board because that's a whole new area, sindio?
Yes,
Kuchora,
that's
kupanga.
a whole new area. Yeah, building your vision, that's a new thing. Unaweza clarify purpose, but you need a plan, yeah, to actually execute it. So yeah.
Na tusiconfuse purpose na ujinga. Aki, because I am scared people might nasikianga hii ndio inanitouch.
We will know. The thing about purpose is tutajua if it is there or not. And if people love you in your life, watakwambia yeah, right. But you know what is funny about purpose? People they can tell. They can tell you have it. So when you go and start telling the right people, we were waiting for you. We are there. We are rooting for you. That is if you have the right people in your corner. Because some of us have very strange friends. So if you have the right people, they can tell. They can be like, it's true. I can see it. It's true. Go for it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you so much to our viewers. Please leave a comment. Please, in case you want to reach our Coach Wanjugu, in case unataka akueleze, akupangie life yako, purpose yako, like for life coaching tips, her number is down here. You can feel free, reach out, saidika. Like it doesn't hurt ukisaidika. Imagine hapo tu kwa deathbed ukisema manze acheni tu nipumzike. I have lived my life fully, like with impact, with purpose. So guys, that's it from us this week. Hoping to see you next week. Same place, same time. Bye.